All right, today we're doing something a little different. We are going inside the machine. We've got our hands on the internal design documents for Alex Wenger Squared, a fascinating AI coaching system that's been designed specifically for elite athletes. We're going to break down how it works, but more importantly, why it was built to be trustworthy.
So, picture this. You're on the final hole, right? A championship, maybe $1 million, is on the line. Your AI coach tells you exactly what shot to hit, and you miss. Now what? Who's to blame? This is the kind of high-stakes problem that Alex Wenger 2 was engineered to solve from the ground up.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll dig into the fundamental problem with AI authority. Then we'll explore the system's absolute core principle. After that, we'll peek under the hood at its governance engine, see the critical role humans play, and wrap it all up with a pretty counterintuitive idea, why a boring AI might actually be the best AI.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The central challenge here isn't really about making an AI smarter. It's about defining its authority. You see, the moment a tool starts making decisions for you, it also starts sharing the risk. And that is a line that most systems just casually step over without anyone even noticing. And this brings us to the bedrock, the foundational idea of the entire Alex Wenger Squared system. It's all built on one single, radical, non-negotiable principle. It dictates every line of code, every single interaction. It is a hard line in the sand. And here it is. The internal documents have a locked-in, official definition for the word support. Just look at those verbs. Structures, prepares, analyzes. The system's job is to tee up the information, to make the choices clearer for the human, but it can never, ever make the choice itself.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Analyzing your shot options? That's support. Telling you should take this shot? Nope, that's a decision and it's forbidden. Drafting a travel itinerary is okay. Auto-booking the flights is not. The system is mechanically, physically prevented from crossing that boundary. Now, this is wild. This is the system's ultimate measure of success, and it's actually a failure condition. It has nothing to do with performance, user happiness, or winning tournaments. The #1 absolute top goal is to maintain that clear separation of powers. If it blurs that line, it has failed. Period.
So a rule is only as good as its enforcement, right? How does Alex Wenger Square actually make sure this critical boundary is never, ever crossed? Well, it's all done through a built-in, unoverridable governance engine.
And here is the absolute key. Unlike all the other systems out there that are trying to optimize for engagement or results, this one optimizes for safety. The internal governance logic is the highest authority in the room. It doesn't matter if the user is begging for a decision, the rules say no, and the rules always win. Every single interaction, from a simple question to a complex request, has to go through this mandatory core loop. And notice, governance isn't just one step. It is baked in everywhere. There's a policy check right at the beginning and a final governance filter at the end. There is literally no path that can bypass these checks.
Let's just zoom in for a second on that policy check stage. It's not just one thing, it's like a chain of command that acts as the system's conscience. It doesn't just look at what the user wants. It runs the request against all these safety, scope, and authority rules. And if it finds any issues, it turns them into hard actions, like blocking a response or escalating it to a human.
What's really clever is that the system isn't a blunt instrument. It actually adjusts its own guardrails based on who's using it. A competitive amateur has totally different risks than a touring pro who's worried about their reputation and finances. And an auditor? They get read-only access, period. The system mechanically tightens its own leash as the stakes get higher. So with all these rules and all these checks, you're obviously going to run into situations the AI can't and, frankly, shouldn't handle on its own. And that brings us to one of the most important parts of the entire design, its really unique approach to the human in the loop.
Now, in most AI systems, human in the loop just means a person jumps into a chat to help out. Here, it is completely different. It is a formal, logged, structural authority transfer. The system doesn't ask for help. It formally halts everything and passes the baton of responsibility to a verified human.
This creates such a clear and clean division of labor. The AI's job is to record what's happening, explain the context, and then simply wait. The human is the only one with the authority to decide, to override, and, this is the big one, to assume full responsibility for that choice. And to make sure there's absolutely zero ambiguity about who made the final call, every single time a human steps in,
The system generates at least 3 permanent, unchangeable evidence files. This creates a bulletproof audit trail, making it crystal clear where the machine's responsibility ended and the human's began. This quote from the design documents just says it all. Human oversight isn't a bug fix. It's not an afterthought for when the AI gets confused. It is a core, intentionally designed feature of the entire system, built right into its DNA from day one. So, let's recap. You've got a system that refuses to decide, that's obsessed with rules, and that constantly stops to ask for a human's permission. It sounds, well, a little bit boring, right? And that is the entire point. In high-stakes work, boring is a feature, not a bug. This whole architecture we've just walked through is designed to serve this one single philosophy. The goal isn't just to make the user better. It's to do that without introducing any new unforeseen risks. It's all about adding capability while actively subtracting danger. And what that means is its priorities are basically inverted compared to a lot of the AI we see today. It values governance over a winning outcome. It prefers predictable structure over creative persuasion. And it will always choose safety over convenience. It is designed from the ground up to be boringly consistent. This chart shows you the pecking order, and it is locked in. The system's own internal governance logic is at the top, 100%. The verified human is next, and way down at the bottom is the user's input. Your request, no matter how urgent you think it is, can never override the system's own safety protocols. Ultimately, what this whole thing shows us is that in this quest to build an AI that we can actually trust, the answer might not be to make it more creative or more persuasive or more human-like. The answer might be to make it more machine-like, consistent, predictable, and bound by rules that it simply cannot break. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. As we build these AI systems that can do more and more amazing things, maybe the true sign of intelligence, the feature that really matters for our trust and our safety, isn't what an AI can do, but what it knows it shouldn't.